Jenna. 11 with Jenna. 11 with Jenna. 11. Oh, you know I'm cold right now. 11 with Jenna. With Jenna. 11 with Jenna. Right now. 11 with Jenna. With Jenna. 11. Oh, you know I'm cold right now.
Hey there, how are you? What's going on? Oh, hard times, holding it together. Don't want to get in trouble. What's going on? What's going on? Hey there. My name is Jenna. This is 11 with Jenna. I'm here 7 days, 7 nights, 14 times a week. What? T-shirts? What? Just like the magnet. We got your t-shirts. It is Saturday night. Let me get some business together here. How are you? Who's here? Whoa. Oh, I see. Who's here? Hey, Carl. I'm just gonna edit the privacy so it's public. Now you can all share the show. Share the show. I'm gonna share it after I do this. Do this little thing right here. Do 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 do. Got to hold on. That's right, White. And then there's this cool little one right there. Edit the post. There's my post. I'm gonna say something, and I'm gonna say, and Gary here, and then I share it actually on my I share it to a page. I share it to my business page. It's all about, I'm learning. It's taken me a while to get to certain things, but let's see. Fabulous t-shirt. I know. Hey, Patty. Hey, Michael. Hey, William. Patty Loman. Oh, really? Yay. All right. Well, hail, the gang's all here. Do. Hey, would the Winnikers, would the quartet wear 11 with Jenna t-shirts to a gig? I know you wear like super cool things. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this party started. Gary Lambert in the house.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, you've changed rooms.
Yeah, this is the dining room. So just to orient you, behind me is where the couch is, where I've spent much of my
like straight back. The couch is all the way to that back where the curtains.
All the way to the back window, and on the other side is that den I've been sitting in with the TV in it. So it's behind you, it's in front of me. Right. Oh, it's like the airline instructor. Yeah, you've been on a lot of planes, so you've seen that many times. So this is actually kind of comfortable because I can like rest my arms on the table, and this may be my spot for a while, or I may move around to somewhere else.
Right.
Or next Saturday night, to anticipate your question as to what I'm doing next Saturday night, I am going to be away from the house next Saturday night, but we may get to have another exciting Gary on the Train adventure.
Awesome.
We'll see, because I'll be in Portchester, and the train would be, I think the last train out, or the second to last train out, is like 11:13 or something. So I might be a little late getting on the show because I'll be I'll leave the show right across the street. It's very, 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 very convenient because the Capitol is right across the street from the train station.
What's the show?
Billy Strings.
Okay.
It's great. And I have yet to see him live, but
oh, really?
Yeah. Well, last year, he wound up he He had
Oh,
this
the
whole run of
private.
shows at the Capitol.
Right.
They got shut down as public shows, so they live streamed them, and I hosted them, but from the
Right.
couch. So, so this year I actually get to be there. And once again, I think Pete is going to, see to my safety by putting me in a nice kind of isolated place where I can watch the show. So that's cool. So I'll be there, and then I'll keep you posted on how things are running. But
Okay.
with any luck at all, we have ended the suspense about whether I'll be here Saturday. Hopefully,
So that
yes.
question's off the. It's we don't
It's
even.
off the
I won't
table.
even ask.
It's off the table.
But I am curious what size shirt you wear.
I'm a good XL.
XL. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I can
Good
still
XL.
I can still squeeze into a large sometimes, but the XL is
The XL just like this is a medium. This
yeah.
is I'm wearing a unisex medium shirt.
Yeah. There you
So
go.
I'm saying that an XL is probably a large,
Yeah.
a good large.
Yeah.
Canadian,
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So is the kitchen behind?
the kitchen is to
Kitchen's in front of you?
my left. The kitchen is off to the side of here. And that's
We're getting
the den.
closer to the kitchen. I'm telling you, I would love for you
Close to
to
the kitchen.
order extra bananas and make a banana daiquiri or something.
Funny you should mention it. I brought a little item to show.
You did.
Display and share, show and tell,
Okay.
whatever you call it.
It's
a
now
bit-
called Displaced and Share.
To play. Oh, that's good. I like that.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Well, I got this profoundly silly and yet amazingly handy and even maybe strangely appropriate bit of rock and roll promotional gifting. Turns out the one of the people who runs this company, this highly successful company, massive Deadhead and big fan of the radio show. So he sent David and I email saying, hey, I'd like to gift you guys a little special item we have. And so last week, via UPS, I got a Steal Your Face NutriBullet.
No way! Fabulous.
Jeff Metzger, take note. I'm not sure if they are actually selling these or if they just made up some as like a little promotional gift, or if they have maybe,
Crazy.
or maybe if they're applying for a license or something. But I got this thing, and as I said, funny you should mention it, I bought quite a few extra bananas this week because I wanted to do some experimenting. So I've been making all kinds of like mango and banana smoothies. And
Don't you just love the NutriBullet? I love my NutriBullet.
yeah, it's most excellent. So tonight I made my first alcohol bearing concoction with it.
Ooh.
It's kind of a modified Ron Carter. It's got bananas, some actual brewed coffee, some rum. And then I had one of those little, like hotel bar bottles of Bailey's espresso cream.
Oh, that's Grace's favorite.
Yeah. Oh, great. And a dash of Grand Marnier, because I like a dash of Grand Marnier, and put a little Trader Joe's nutmeg on top. And
now, was the banana frozen?
no.
Okay.
I put some ice in to froth it up a bit.
Okay.
And here we go. Yes.
Hi, Mama Grace.
Hi, Mama Grace. So
Let's see the NutriBullet again. That's so cool. Steal Your Face NutriBullet. That's crazy, dude.
and it kind of makes sense because
Hi, Lee.
your deadheads are very big on smoothies. There are people making smoothies in the parking lot. So this could be could be a big hit if they actually get a license to sell it.
We're gonna have a little dance party right here. And Jerry, right now. Oh, wait, I can't find my pause button. Oh, I love this song.
I know. Yeah, I know that song. What was I going to say about this? I
A
understand
drink?
you can. I understand you can make a fine frozen margarita in one of
Oh,
those.
yes, you can in
Yes,
your
that's
NutriBullet.
didn't have any tequila in the house. Otherwise, I think I could be rocking a
So
frozen margarita.
again, what's in this drink? This is the Ron Carter.
It's sort of a modified Ron Carter. I don't know if I even wrote. I never write down any of these things. It's kind of
I've
all
never
head
heard of the
arrangements.
coffee. The coffee part's an interesting,
I decided to go for some brewed coffee, and it's delicious. It works
like the
really
cold
well.
brew coffee.
No, just regular. I mean, I brewed a pot of
You
coffee.
brewed the pot of coffee.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and some milk, and some rum, and some Bailey's espresso cream because it happened to be right nearby in a tiny bottle, and a little Grand Marnier.
I love it.
It's really good, and a banana, of course, a banana. I didn't buy 36 bananas this time, mind you. I just bought 2 bunches.
Yeah, you can do a lot. You can make a lot of juices with that, even with what am I trying to say? Like veggie juices and stuff, and
Yes.
some of them you have to strain and get
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I also have a juicer, so I can pre-make juices and then use the juices in the other drinks. So I'll be experimenting quite a bit, I'm sure. It's fun to have anyway.
Oh, it's a blast. That's just so cool.
So,
And have you met this person?
no, he's only, we only corresponded, because I think he may have met David because, in David's travels, but it turns out deadhead fan of show, and I forget what he not CEO of NutriBullet, but one of the very top people.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, tell him that 11:11 with Jenna uses a NutriBullet every day.
I may have told him that. Yeah.
Right, we could wrap this. We could wrap the graphic.
Mhm.
Have you been watching anything fun? I sure have.
Let's see. What was this week like? I wasn't doing any real bingey stuff. Did I watch any movies? Yeah, the week is not really. It hasn't made a big impression on me. I guess if there was anything really special. Oh, I watched last night. The Capitals streamed. I was actually going to go to this, but then first of all, there was, there's Omicron, and second of all, there's Snowmicron, which we just had. So
Yeah, a new Bombo Genesis.
yeah, it was not as massive as some, but it was pretty intense. Early this morning and into about midday today, it was very gusty and a lot of snow. So we probably have about a foot here. But I decided not to go to see David Bromberg had a 50th anniversary show. His first album came out.
Jeff was talking about that. Yeah.
And he had a great lineup of people, Larry and Teresa, Steve Earle, Betty LaVette, John McEwen, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band guy. And it was very cool. So I watched that. And what else? I don't, this week has not really stuck to my brain too effectively.
Yeah. That was kind of someone said that the other day, they're like getting rid of wasn't it you, Lee, that said who got rid of the last day of February or something? And then someone said, why don't we just get rid of the whole month of February? But anyway, hi, Michael. So we're coast to coast right now.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good.
My mom and I binged The Girl Across the Street in the Window.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's good.
It's a parody.
Right.
It's a trip.
Yeah.
It's
right.
a trip.
That's the one with Kristen Bell, right? Yeah. Who I love. I should watch it.
She's so cute. It's a trip because you're sitting there going, they kind of grab you because you feel like, it's the serious thing, but it's a parody on horror films.
Right. Right. The kind of the scream genre. Those yeah.
You're like, don't do that. Oh, Yeah,
Right.
really? Okay. And it's filmed that way too, where, certain things happen and it's real, this kind of movement
Mhm.
but the very end is a trip because it's eight shows, so we watched the whole thing.
Right.
And we are newbies to Ozark. So we're
I've
finishing
heard
the
really
first
great things about
season.
Ozark. Yeah, I got to get into Ozark.
Yeah, it's pretty dark.
Mhm.
So again, the Ron Carter. Two bananas?
Two bananas. Two just kind of small bananas. The jar thing it comes with is like 24 ounces, and that you can buy an accessory 36-ounce one. I might go for that because you can make taller things.
Yeah, it's nice to have because then you can you can stuff that whole thing with spinach.
Yeah, yeah.
It's nice to get more because
So,
if you just do it up to where they tell you, that's smart.
yeah. I'm getting my ratios together because some of my smoothies came out like they were more slushies. They were incredibly thick. You could hardly pour them. But that's cool. I like
Well,
that too.
I'll give you a suggestion since you like to use ice.
Yes.
You would what vegetables do you use? Do you like?
I
Like if
like
you're
greens.
juicing, what do you juice?
I use carrots a lot. I've gotten into like carrot, like cucumber combinations,
Mhm.
carrot celery combinations. Some spinach, some leafy greens too.
So anything
I'm
that
open
you
to anything.
juice, freeze those and make those
Mm.
ice cubes
Oh, that's very smart. Yeah.
instead of water, and then put
Yeah.
that in the blend.
So
Not in the
you get
Ron Carter so much.
yeah, no, but you get the flavor without the dilution.
Yeah,
I've bought some very good pre-bagged those Wyman's berries
the
from
blueberries.
Maine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I got a berry blend, which is raspberries,
yeah.
blueberries,
I love the
and
Wyman.
I also had have some mango chunks in the freezer, and I got this. Dole makes an actual like fruit and veggie frozen blend with it's got like pineapple and banana
Part of
and
them.
other fruits and some spinach in there too. So you get a little bit of your greens. Yeah, that made a nice
Yeah,
drink
that
too.
whole freezer back there. That's all that's in there. Fruit and veggie,
Mhm.
and about 7 things of cubes.
Cool.
And I just
Very
drop them in different. Like I'll put a greens or apple or. But the
Yeah.
Ron Carter one, you could actually blend the banana with a little bit of water and then freeze that. Pow. Or
That's a
put in
thought
some
too.
coconut milk.
Yeah.
Pow.
Yeah, I've got a can of coconut. I was thinking of making something with coconut milk sometime soon. I've got a
And then
can.
you can make ice cream
Oh yeah.
without the cream
Right.
or with the cream,
Yeah.
depending on if you like.
Depending on. Yeah, I've made some of the drinks I've made this week with almond milk and others with milk and some with fruit. I did some with orange juice, some with cider. So it's a nice
You can
experiment.
make your own almond milk in there.
That's what I hear.
Bam. That was Lee.
Yeah.
Lee, you're up late this evening. You've become an 11 evening person. Yeah, you do. If you do want to do raw coconut or almond milk,
Mhm.
take a couple of cups of almonds and soak them overnight, and then take the shell off. And then a couple of cups of water in with the almond and NutriBullet, and then strain it with I use a paint strainer. Then you have almond
makes
milk.
sense.
No preservatives, no other crap in it, just plain almonds. And you could put a date in it and some cinnamon for a little pop, or you like the nutmeg. You
I like
can get
nutmeg.
you can like have hallucinogenic experiences with nutmeg.
Oh no, yeah, no, that was kind of a 60s thing. People were like taking whole spoonfuls of nutmeg, and
Really? Whole spoonfuls?
that's what I heard. Yeah,
Quite a hangover, I've been told. They do it in Jamaica.
yeah,
Like you sit there and
right.
do that. So curious, I heard that the symphony gig was
It was.
put on
It
hold.
was. Yeah. Very. Abundance of caution time. Just playing indoor shows with things still a little variable. And also, I think there were some issues with being able to rehearse the orchestra adequately, with all the protocols and everybody's schedule. So they just said, let's put it off. It's going to happen in October now. I'm a little relieved because I definitely want to go, and I was a little torn about making it down to Washington and,
Yeah.
dealing with all that. So
I'm glad that they decided not to do it.
Yeah.
That's a smart move, because that's, 70, 80 people on stage, just on stage.
yeah.
And when I performed the last symphony gig, in fact, I had my mask on, and all of a sudden, right before I started to sing, I went, I was the only person that came out on the stage of the 70 people that was allowed to take their mask off. And I had forgotten at first. I'm sitting up there talking, and then I went, oh, I can take my mask off. The whole orchestra, all masked.
Right.
Vaccinated and masked.
Good. I've seen a lot of that. I mean, in orchestra performances and stuff like that, they mask as many people as they can.
Yeah.
Other than the reeds and woodwinds, obviously,
And when they're not playing, they're masked.
Yeah, they mask. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Learn something new every
And in some places around the wind, the instruments that are using breath, they have like little baffles around people, so they're not spraying all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
because
interesting.
we're super spreaders.
Yeah.
Singers and wind instruments are super spreaders.
Yeah.
That's why for a while we had that plastic of the gigs I did still do. We had a plastic. I made one out of a mirror, a pretty framed mirror. Had a
Cool.
But
It's so weird. It's like it is dealing with a different world, a different way of living, a different way of conducting yourself.
And it doesn't seem like it's going to. My Jazz Fest gig, Gem Fest, I think is going to happen, or I'm invited to make it happen.
Great. I hope so. I know I won't be there, but I hope so.
I know. Well, I don't know for sure. We'll see. But I'm glad they're having the conversation.
Yeah. Good.
You can also make soup in there. Do you like squash soup? Things like butternut squash?
I make a mean butternut squash.
You do? What do you put in it?
I actually experiment quite a bit. Sometimes they're more creamy, sometimes they're like a little thinner. It's I don't even remember when I got into making butternuts. I've always liked butternut squash soup, but I really got into making it in my dad's like last year or so, and he really couldn't like get his teeth in and chew things. So butternut squash soup became one of his favorite things. So I made huge batches of it. He had it often, and it's filling. It's it's satisfying. So
yeah, it satisfies a lot of different. It's sweet. And you can put cream in it, and
it's substantial. It's warming. It's just it's one of the perfect things.
I made some today. Actually, it'll be ready tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got some butternut squash soup in my near future, I think.
I made a delicata squash soup.
Oh.
I love delicata squash. It's my favorite squash.
Oh, cool. I have to try that.
For sure. So when you experiment, do you experiment with different broths, or how do you?
Yes. Sometimes different broths. Like I said, different consistencies. What do I put in? It's like it's very intuitive. I taste while I cook, and I say, I could use a little of, and I figure it out. Sometimes I like saute some onions and other little veggies to start, get them nice and translucent and sweet, kind of caramelized, and then I'll start with the broth part. It's the stuff. I haven't made any this winter yet, so thanks for the inspiration.
Yeah. What have you had this week?
Let's see.
Lee, can you get back to the experiment with nutmeg? They would do spoonfuls. I just know in Jamaica you can get whole nutmegs, and you sit there and you grind it.
It's like it's a high of some sort. Right. Yeah, that's what I
know
heard.
nothing about it.
it's like, yeah, in higher volumes, it's got a toxicity factor, so you don't want to mess with it too much. Write a poem about delicata squash, says Suzanne. I like that.
Actually, I could tell a story about it. But
maybe your song at the end of the show can be a delicata squash.
I like Jerusalem artichokes too.
They're good. They're good.
A man that can cook is a precious commodity.
Ah.
What else do you like to cook?
I'm real big on pastas and sauces. I'm in the warm months, I love to be doing me some smoking and barbecuing and stuff.
You're a barbecue guy? You got the grill going and stuff?
Oh yeah. I kind of neglected it this past year, but when I'm on it, I can do some damage out there.
What about this week as far as foods go?
Oh well.
Epic meals with Gary Lambert.
Well, as you know, I was stretching my meals by having the
pizza.
Right. So my pattern was have half a Lou Malnati deep dish pie on Saturday night, and then I'd usually have the other half. Used to have, skip a day and then have it on Monday, and so I got like 6 minutes. For those who don't know, I got this wonderful gift from Goldbelly from my niece and nephew. I mean, my nephew and his family, and that was like 3 Lou Malnati Chicago deep dish. I hesitate to call them pizzas, but they sure are good pie things. Plus an Eli's. It was called the Taste of Chicago, so you also get an Eli's cheesecake from Chicago, which is a darn fine cheesecake. And so it being,
now I want cheesecake.
Being a someone with a nice sense of ritual, I made it my Saturday night ritual of these last 3 weeks, and tonight was the final element in the Lou Malnati triptych. This was the sausage.
Oh, the sausage dish. Yeah. What else is in there besides the cheese?
It's like a lot of cheese, a lot of tomato, and then it's like the sausage is like sort of layered toward the bottom, and that cornmeal crust that is particular to the Chicago deep dish aesthetic. And I still have half of that for lunch tomorrow or on Monday.
Aren't they just like this big?
Oh no, they're about
Oh, okay. I mean, I'd be like all over that. It'd be gone.
No, I can only do half a pie in one sit because it's thick. I could do a whole one, but I say this will be another meal, and I made a salad on the side. So it was a delicious and satisfying meal. And having done it 3 times, I have now been initiated into the Lou Malnati. Get it? And in fact, I made a graphic that I sent to my brother and his family to celebrate this. You can't put pictures in the responses.
No, I know you can post it on your page, but
I'll post it on your page. So give me a minute, and I'll get to that. Yeah, but
hi Jay. Jay's here, right? I do need that. Bill Winokur, sometime we'll be in the same room for an 11:11, and I'll have him do the drum,
a rim shot,
drum roll and a rim shot. Did you see my post the other day of the 10 hours? The 10-hour drum roll?
No, I didn't see that.
It's pretty funny. You can just Google it. Go to YouTube, 10-hour drum roll, and for 10 hours.
I always wanted to hook up with someone who had the technical know-how and make a little hand-sized device called Mr. Rimshot that you could carry, and it would have, and it would have a little cymbal splash, and it would
nice.
have, and all
I had
those.
a Mr. T little one of those, and it had different Mr. T sayings.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember those. That's a great thing.
I have one around here somewhere of all spooky stuff. It goes whoo, but I think I may have given it away. Here's my little thing. I was going to have it for the Halloween, but then I was not here. Anyway, it's somewhere. Do that grr again. Oh, that. It's not a grr, it's a grr, behind the tongue, behind the teeth. Can you do that, Gary?
You know, I don't
Like
think
purring
so.
like a cat. Do you
Okay,
have any
I'm at,
strange things like that you can do? Can you wiggle
uh,
your ears or any of that stuff?
can't do any of that stuff. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I probably had some skills as a child that I've let get rusty, but okay, I'm posting my Lou Malnati graphic to your page. So
Lou Malnati. We used to go to Gino's East when we were kids.
Gino's East is good.
We went to Lou Malnati's too, but I rolled at the Celtic games all through the 80s for the national anthem. Really? How cool. Oh, Celtic. I'm trying to be all. You rolled at the Celtic games all through the 80s for the national anthem. Wow. Can you not record those sounds on your phone? Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
You could find any sound too. Like what were we talking about? What sound were you wanting?
Like the rim shot or the trumpet, the muted trumpet and all that stuff. You can find all that.
What would that
Also,
be? What's that
also,
called?
what? I don't know if it's got a name. It's just like a,
Depressing trumpet sound?
something like that. Yeah.
Well, maybe Bill knows what it's really called. I'm just putting that in just because. Oh, wait, this could be it. You know what
Very
it's
cool.
called?
No.
It's called the sad trombone sound.
Yeah, that was a trombone rather than the trumpet. That's perfectly valid.
But I put trumpet in and sad trombone came up.
Well, they always did that in the Steve Turre did that in the Debbie Downer sketches on SNL. Remember that? Debbie Downer would say some horribly depressing thing, and Steve Turre would do some, but it was different every time. And sometimes he totally cracked Rachel Dratch up because he made these really, really bizarre.
There his own. You heard about Mark Levine?
Yes, I never met Mark, strangely enough, but I know how loved and revered and everything he was, and what a great player he was. And the Jazz Theory book is just, such a work of genius. So
he was one of my very first teachers, and I spent a lot of time around him in my younger years, and I learned a lot from him. He actually is the person that I had known who Abby was, but never experienced her because she was big in the 50s and 60s, and then she
kind of
took a time, and The Price is Right fell. You have it on your phone, Rob? That's funny. But in 1989, I think it was, maybe it was maybe 1990, 1989, I could look back. He called me and said, there's a special show going on tonight at Kimball's. And I think she was doing 2 nights, which is unusual because it used to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where they would do a headliner. She was only doing 2 nights. And I think you would really appreciate her. Her name is Abby Lincoln. I go, she's from Michigan. I know who she is, but she's going to be at Kimball's. And for whatever reason, I missed that because Julian was not working that week or something. And I went over and I met her that night. And then met her again. After that, I would see her all the time, but it's because of Mark Levine that I met Abby.
Oh, that's so beautiful. That's so great. Yeah, so many of my friends were posting about him today, just how much he meant to them, how much he taught them.
Oh, just listening to him. And I would go to his classes, and I didn't play piano, but he would play and I would sing, and I learned how to sing against changes that most people don't play for a singer. You know, they're
Yeah.
he wasn't always supporting me, so I got to sing through like working with John Schott when I first did.
Right.
John is not a melodic, he's melodic, but oh,
It's
the
a different.
shirt. He used to apologize to me a lot. I'd be with John on stage and he would do a looping thing and he'd look over at me and go, "I'm so sorry." And I'd be, "Why?" He goes,
That's John. I love
"Because
that.
I'm lost." I go, "Cool, I'm learning more by being with you." He made my brain go like that.
Yeah. John's mind works in amazing and beautifully odd ways.
John Schott, you guys, incredible guitar player. Just Google him and
Yeah.
you'll hear all kinds of stuff.
Was in one of my all-time favorite bands, TJ Kirk,
TJ
which was
Kirk. They used to rehearse at my house.
should I tell the story of TJ Kirk a little bit?
Wow.
TJ Kirk, first of all, these guys are friends of mine. It was three guitarists, one of whom also played bass with his thumb. That's the insane Charlie Hunter, who I've known since he was 17 and was in a rockabilly band called the Grease Monkeys in Berkeley. And then he went way beyond that. And
If
so
you've ever
Charlie,
heard of the Disposable Heroes of Hypocrisy.
oh, of course, yeah. So Charlie, and then he had these different iterations of the Charlie Hunter first Charlie Hunter trio with Dave Ellis and Jay Lane, and then that expanded to a quartet with Kenny Brooks, and then Dave Ellis moved on, and they got the late wonderful Calder Spanier and Scotty Amendola joined on drums. So some of the roots of Rat Dog are there too. Those guys went on to. But anyway, so TJ Kirk, they had the most hilarious concept for a band of all. They were going to call themselves James T. Kirk, and Paramount Pictures would not let them because James T. Kirk because of Star Trek. So, but the concept of the band, James T. Kirk stood for James Brown, T was Thelonious, and Kirk was Roland Kirk, and that was their repertoire. They were playing their very bizarre arrangements of songs by James Brown, Thelonious Monk, and Rahsaan Roland Kirk, sort of kludged together. So they would do, they did Ruby My Dear, but with the vamp and foundation of It's a Man's World and stuff like that. And when they just play straight up Monk, they could play it as well as anyone ever. So that was Charlie Hunter, Will Bernard, who I've known for like 50 years now, almost, and John Schott and Scott Amendola on drums, all of whom have
Brilliant.
gone on to other glorious things. Some of
Brilliant,
my favorite
yeah.
players. Yeah. So if you can look, there's actually some TJ Kirk online. They did a little reunion gig just recently, and but I think it was non-public because of Omicron.
Well, the one got canceled. They were going to play at the Ivy Room, and that was canceled.
Right, but they did like a streaming thing.
Right.
And it was just
I didn't see
blissful
it.
to watch. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah, they've all matured, and they're such amazing players. We all used to play in the 90s. We were playing at different clubs every night. Charlie was playing here, Will was playing here, John would be at one, Andre would be at one, and I'd be playing with Will over here, and then I'd be playing with John another night, and Andre, and like between the Up and Down and Enrico's.
Right. I was just going to say,
11.
like there was that whole circuit of clubs that were really open to really experimental stuff. And those guys were everywhere. It was great. The Elbow Room, if you didn't mention that. Yeah.
Elbow Room. What was the place on 11th? With the other, we used to play upstairs.
Paradise Lounge or the
Down the street,
DNA.
Paradise.
DNA.
No,
DNA.
Other side of the street. On the same side of the street as the Paradise, there was a club, and the guy that ran it was named Tim. Tim.
I know exactly who you're talking.
Why aren't we getting paid tonight, Tim?
That on the same side of the street as the Paradise. Oh, was that the one that's like almost adjacent to the Paradise?
Right, like you're on the corner at the Paradise, and you look to your right, across from Slim's, basically.
Across from Slim's, because I know those guys played DNA, which was like a little further down from Slim's. I can't remember what else was there.
Will and I used to play, and Andre and I used to play at this other, and it was another loft. And then
Oh,
I
yeah.
used to play a lot with yeah, there was a place called 1111 Minna.
Right,
We
right,
used to
right,
play, and
right.
it was 1111 Minna it
Mm-hmm.
was on 1111 Minna, the address.
1111 with Minna.
And then we played at another place that was owned by Chris Borders of Borders Books.
Huh.
And you'll know it, and I can't think of the name of it, but it closed when they found a dead body in the roof, in the ceiling.
Ooh.
Like,
Ooh.
like the professionals were playing there, but we would
Wow.
be playing in North Beach, and it's
Mhm.
how they used to say it was like in the 50s, in the 60s, where such and such was playing down here. There would be 6 places. We'd be playing at Pearls, we played
Yeah.
at Rico's, we played somewhere on Columbus, we played across at Specs, and then the place right across from there. And you could take your break and then go see Charlie play, or take your break and go see Mark and Peck and Jeff Chambers and Eddie Marshall, and it's so cool.
Yeah, that was an amazing, that period. I guess we're talking early to mid 90s
Mhm.
and into the late 90s somewhat. Yeah, it was a great time out there.
Yep. Well, I'm glad you're coming back next week.
Yeah,
Hi,
well,
Becky.
we'll see how we can manage it. I will keep you posted on
If
my
you're on the
movements.
train, and if you don't,
Yeah, but if I only get in a cameo appearance, I'm always happy to. If the train is on schedule and I get on and I get settled in, and you know, I'm absolutely down for it.
I love that you're moving around in the house.
Yeah, why not?
Sleep well. Oh, good night, Lee. Well, I
Good
think
night.
I'm going to go bundle. How much snow do you guys have?
Um, I'm guessing around here it was probably right around a foot. I
Oh,
heard some parts of the city probably got like, I'd say 10 inches to a foot here. I heard there were like 18 inches in like northern parts of the city, maybe the Bronx, and then they really got slammed, I think, in parts of New England. Um, but it was, I mean, I've seen much worse. The bad thing is it's going to stay cold, very cold, like in the teens for I think the next several days, which means it ain't going to melt, and the sidewalks are going to get slick and the roads are going to stay slick. So
that's what's
uh,
happening here.
it's
Exactly.
it's gonna be a good time to hunker down.
Yeah, I don't even know. What is the temperature? It's 18 here.
Yeah, let me check here. Oh, it's 12 here. Getting down to 10 in a couple hours.
Last week it was 5 here at one point. Oh,
Yeah, we're
wow.
going.
Bill in up north in Massachusetts, they have 2 feet.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard just like in the Boston area, just south of Boston, was going to be hit pretty hard. Yeah, we're going to have a high of 24 tomorrow, so we won't be seeing that stuff melting anytime soon.
No, it started to melt here and then it froze up. But last night I walked outside. Lillian wanted to go for a walk at 2 in the morning. So we
Mhm.
went out and it was snowing like this. And all of a sudden a bunny ran across. I'm like, dude, why aren't you in Florida or sleeping or something? But it was like being in a snow globe. Like I was
Mhm.
like in a rom-com.
Right, right, right.
Oh, speaking of, so Monday night movie club this week, we're watching My Elephant or My Octopus Teacher and
Oh, cool.
um Tick Tick Boom.
Oh, I saw Tick Tick Boom already.
And
Um,
this week it's the subject is rom-com. So if you have any rom-coms that you like,
okay, well,
throw
I
that in.
tend to go. I mean, before they were calling them rom-coms, like I like old rom-coms from
Yeah.
like the
Oh
30s and
yeah.
40s. The OG rom-coms. Um,
Doris Day, Cary Grant, that kind of.
even earlier than that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, there's some modern rom-coms that I kind of dig. But so the ones, My Octopus Teacher, and were those ones that you assigned last Monday, so people will
Tick
have
Tick
seen them?
Boom, and
Okay.
and then the other one that I can never know I never remember the name. The Devil, it's the Teflon, the documentary on Teflon.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The Devil You May Know. It's
I'll
it's
look that
not
up.
an uplifting film.
Uh-huh.
but important.
Uh-huh.
Or important, how the young kids say important.
Important.
Important. DuPont. Sorry, DuPont. The DuPont family.
Oh, right. Oh, that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, rom-coms. That's the next
All right.
one.
I'll give them some thought.
All right. Thank you. I'm glad you made it cool. I'm looking forward to next week's. I'll make it.
Yeah.
You might. Oh, next week you won't be in for the NutriBullet. You will be.
That's right. I don't think security will let my NutriBullet into the Capitol.
I don't know if they see that one.
They might. Yeah. Pete might want.
I'm sure
me to
Pete
hook 'em up
doesn't
with
have
one.
one already.
Yeah, he might.
I have my Steal Your Face on my back of my car.
There you go. You can always buy a Steal Your Face and stick it on your NutriBullet.
I could put it on my. I got it. I got my NutriBullet here and a couple other machines.
Uh-huh. So this is the
So cool.
coolest gift I've gotten in a while.
So cool. Now, I don't know.
Other than the Lou Malnati pizzas, of course.
The shoes are pretty great.
Uh-huh.
Not Crocs.
Uh-huh.
What'd you get?
The Garcia the sandal things from Keen. Yeah, those are very nice.
Keen. The devil we know. Thank you, Carl.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a letter for me, Mr. Lambert?
Well, let's go D for your delicata squash ode.
D, 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 D. Ooh, I'm flying. I'm gonna add a little T to that. Oh, I love delicata squash. I love butternut too, I do. I like crooked neck and zucchini. Oh, I love squash. How about you? I love pumpkin when I don't have no squash, because I like it in my Thai food too. Yes, I do. I really, 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 really do. And I do. I make it sometimes in my NutriBullet like that. You just smash it in and go. And then all of a sudden you have a drink like that. Cheers to you. Salute Gary Lambert. Thank you all. Hey, galore too. And there she is. I'm so happy that you're here tonight. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and be real nice. And once again, tomorrow morning, oh, it is 11:59, so in 1 minute, yes, it'll be the morning time. And Gary Lambert, thank you for giving us your time tonight. So I'll say, from your thoughts, make them deep. And from your words, make them delicate. And from your heart, make it a damn, damn, damn good heart. Ah, thank you, Bill. I'll take that. Super cool.
Love you.
I love you too. Happy Sunday, January 30th.
That's right. Good night, everybody.
Night, everybody. Love hard.
Real hard.